Okay, here's a short video on sometimes when you're out at swap meets and garage sales you find a junker robot and you buy it just because the parts might be valuable and helping one down the road. But this one, even though it's really beat up, which I actually like, I like toys that look played in, and I've never even cleaned the dust and dirt off of it. It would clean up. But he's obviously missing a foot. I figured someday I would find another foot because it's a very common robot style. And he's missing a battery door, which I probably have a battery door out in my junk room. But the more interesting thing is when you can pick something like this up for a few bucks, and it's the fly eye version, which I much prefer over the one with the astronaut head in it, is when they actually still work and you haven't done anything to them. So let's drop a couple of D cells in there. Look at that. And that's the more complicated door with the litho. It's also got the lit head fly eye. I'm going to drop the batteries out here with the doors open so you can take a look. See, you've got all this cool litho on the insides of the doors, the tops of the gun, and actually in this particular one, if they don't run right in there, you can get right to the motor. The motor is right there. So if you needed to give it, I'm going to run it just long enough to close the doors, hopefully. There we go. Kind of amazed that it still had the switch. Normally those plastic switches get broken when the doors are missing, and it's gotten treated rough enough the foot is missing. But I don't know if there's enough light to see in there, but right back in there you can almost see it does have one plastic white gear. Normally those gears would crack, but it wouldn't be that hard to replace. You wouldn't even have to take the robot apart in this case. But if you had to kickstart it, you can just reach in there with your finger and kickstart the motor till it starts running. But this is the kind of thing you just can't pass by. It's not in great shape, but it's more there than not there, because finding a foot shouldn't be that hard. It's still walking, the mechanics are working, it runs. Battery door. I love the fact that it looks a little beat up, that it's actually been in the wars a little bit and survived. So there you have it. I say if you can get them at a good price, get them even when they're a little beat up. Eventually you may find a foot or a battery door. In fact, if any of you have a spare foot that is the right size for this guy, let me know. I'm looking to see if I have a tape measure here, because there are different sizes of all these things. So this particular foot from heel to toe is 3.5 inches. And it's just a little over 1 3/4, so probably 1 7/8 wide. But use a foot for this guy, and I believe either foot would work. It's his left foot, but I think a right foot would probably work too. There you have it. Save a robot's life. Buy those junkers.